Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to another episode of our one shot, which is really not a one shot anymore. But we're going to keep calling that because one day it will end. Uh, this is the Pirates of the Valdstrum. I am Ravnos Archon. You can call me Will. I'll be your storyteller. In the last session, we discovered some lore behind the jade statues, courtesy of Basten Garrel. We dealt with a little bit of treason, at least as it comes to the mighty Drow Empire. And the crew tried to outrun a ghost ship that seemingly attacked for no reason. But they were repelled nonetheless because, after all, we're following a group of heroes, not some random nobodies on the ocean. But we left off with the crew going into the storm wall after fending off the ghost ship attack and discovering a whole new slice of the world. And this is where we're going to pick up with everybody again. Hello, guys. Let's change some names around. But let's give you guys a chance to introduce yourselves, let everybody know what you're playing, and where they can find you.
Is it lazy first?
Yeah. Let's do Laser Cat first.
Oh, I thought it was you first. I'm so sorry. I thought we said red first for sure. I was like, wait, that's fine.
I might have. I am so
okay.
trying to put names where they belong.
I thought you said ladies first, so I figured we had like the only lady here is Laser Cat.
Wow.
Oof.
That just happened.
My name is Laser Cat. I'm a variety broadcaster here on Twitch. And I do all sorts of content, singing, gaming, and now newly Beat Saber. So we're having a good time over there.
Yeah. Nice. And now Red, you can go.
All right. Hello, my name is Red Herring. I'm a cosplay gamer and variety streamer. We just finished our first 24-hour stream last Saturday, which was super fun. And now that we have the bigger cam set up, we can start playing some Just Dance again. So we're going to be doing a little bit of that. We also play a lot of Valheim and Boyfriend Dungeon right now. That's been the game. So
I saw that you've got involved in that. How is that?
oh, Boyfriend Dungeon is absolutely one of the most fun games I've played in a while. Although from what I've heard, it is quite short, but I would highly recommend it. It's pretty cheap. I think it's like $10.
Okay.
Good time. Half dungeon crawler, half dating sim. And the dungeon crawler side of it is actually very, very fun. It's like Diablo and Dream Daddy had a little love child.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Gloop, where can everybody find you?
Hello, good sir, and everybody. Thanks for having me here today. You can find me most frequently and regularly on Sundays at noon Pacific and Tuesdays at 7 Pacific, illegally hosting a karaoke game show. So come and check it out and have some fun, and get into the speakeasy with us, and let's do things that are naughty.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I'm definitely gonna try to get myself a Sunday off so I can be part of that illegal kind of Cannonball Run-esque karaoke
gambling
show.
ring. Yeah. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Check it out.
And Pedro, who is our resident teacher, where can everybody find you?
They can find me here on Pirates of the Valdstrum. Still not streaming, but starting on Monday I will be teaching again, so that'll be fun.
All right. We'll try to get you into more streams. Don't worry. I have plans.
Ooh.
Yeah. So we left off with the group outrunning or outmanning, outgunning the ghost ship and forcing their way through the Valdstrum in a little alley that Basten Garrel knew about. And as we find you coming across the other side, there's a shift. You can sense that things are different on this side of the Valdstrum, of the storm wall itself. Connections that had been part of your everyday life are suddenly much frailer, much looser, and there is not the same tenacity that there was before for them. Um, there's a different voice as the storm wall kind of closes up behind you in Tika and Bahodi's head. It's not Tika's deity, and it's not Bahodi's patron. But they're somehow still familiar to you. You see, as everybody's kind of looking around, taking inventory of the damage that's been caused to the ship, there's a few gasps that come in Basten's direction. And all of you notice that the pink human skin starts to melt away. There is this reddish tone, this pointed ear that kind of pops up from where the curve used to be, and slowly you see this ridged crown of two horns that come up and around to kind of rest on the top of his head. And although his hair is still the same, his beard is still the same, he is very clearly not human. And you see that kind of devilish, spaded, tipped tail kind of whip around from behind him. And when he smiles, you see that there is these pronounced fangs in his mouth. And he kind of looks down and he's like, yes, well, seems that I can't keep the secret any longer.
What happened while I was sleeping, guys?
Is this going to happen to all of us? Are we all going to lose our faces?
He shakes his head. No, I'm from here originally, from this side of the wall. Just had assumed different guys because I don't particularly know how certain people will react to my race.
Can I just be candid? Are you a tiefling?
He nods.
Well, pin that one on the nose. Or should I say the tipped tail?
Ooh.
And it swishes as you make reference to it. I was lost and found myself on the other side of the wall, and the first people I met beat me and treated me as a monster because of the color of my skin and the origin of my lineage. I thought it best to hide amongst the flock, as it were. And at that point, he kind of bends down, gets down on one knee, and he kind of reaches out for Tika's hand, and he's just like, I assure you, I meant no deception.
I'm not adverse to a bit of tomfoolery, so I'll accept.
You see one of the crew members kind of come around and just kind of point to in the distance. Is that land over there? And Basten kind of goes over to the side of the boat, kind of squints to try and get a look, and then he shakes his head. That's coming at us much too fast. And there's a sudden burst of lightning that kind of blinds some of the people on the deck. Everybody kind of covers their eyes. There's a roll of thunder. And then there's an older looking tiefling that just kind of appears. It hobbles until it gets its bearings, and it kind of stretches out its hands. And it looks like there's a familiar resemblance to Basten. And he coughs and kind of looks around. And then he smiles as he sees Basten and comes over and hugs him. My boy, it has been some time. And Basten nods, kind of looks at the group. I'd like all of you to meet my father, Valk the Elder. And there is an image of Valk in our Discord. The faces in the crowd, if you'd like to see what he looks like. But he's older, kind of salt and pepper hair, nice fluffy beard, a little bit more rotund of a tiefling.
Like so cool.
You are home. It's good to have you back. I was worried. And he pats him on the shoulders, and he kind of motions to the 4 of you, 5 with Kiba, who is not here with us. I could not have come through the wall without their help or any of the crew members on the ship. It's been a difficult journey, Father. I look forward to getting back to putting us in our rightful place.
Does this have to do with the sapphire?
And the older tiefling kind of, his eyes widen. You have seen the sapphire. Did you bring it?
Like once.
And Basten shakes his head. No, but I found more of the jade pieces. And he kind of motions to Mara. I've entrusted her with them.
It's mine. You didn't trust it to me. Like, I own this. It's a fair trade, first of all. So, no disrespect to you. I know it's been a hard journey, but let's get one thing straight. This is my jade fox that I earned fair and square.
He nods.
And she's holding on to, and I like put my backpack down, open it, and take out the free. And this monkey.
I hold mine up next to her, and we're just look at ours. Look at it. Look at it.
As you put the 2 of them together, there's a slight glow that comes from the core of each of the statues.
See, our friendship ignites them.
They love each other.
How many of these statues are there? And what happens when you unite them all? Because obviously you guys are looking to do so.
The older tiefling looks at the 2 that are gathered there, and he's just like, it is said that there were at least a dozen. There might be more. There was one crafted for each of the primordial progenitors. It is said that from each statue, that creature was given life.
Oh.
Is the point to get them all together? Like in a jade menagerie?
Some have devoted their life to doing so. Yes, there is.
To what end?
There is talk of a temple that exists somewhere in the mainland, somewhere in the broken parts of the world, where if all of them are brought together, a new age of peace, of bountifulness could begin again. A reset, as it were.
Velk,
Now, do we know the stipulations of a reset of everything, or?
No one has ever put them together, so there is no written proof that this is a thing. Some have said that the reset is just a manifestation of all of these being brought together to create a wish. But again, no one has ever assembled more than 8.
Well, I have another question.
Hmm.
It's kind of related.
Please, you
Um,
have brought me my boy.
for
I am at your
for
service.
centuries, the wall has been closed. Why is there a tear in it now that you two seem to be knowledgeable of and, for lack of a better word, exploiting to pass between the two realms? Like, my question is, do you know how that rift came about? And is there something happening on this side that is preparing to come through?
They both nod at the same time. And the elder one, there has been on this side of the wall a shadow war, as it were. The clans of the Pit uh, have been gathering forces, marshaling cultists above so that the Dark Lords may be pulled up onto the material plane.
The Dark Lords?
The the heads of all the devil families, Dark Lords of the Pit. We ourselves are beholden to one Dark Lord, but his clan is one of the weaker ones. Ours is not a destiny of power. Ours is a destiny of information. We broker secrets.
Wow. And Tika is definitely, after having assessed Bastion in this whole situation, maybe just a slightly interested in in Frick, Bach, Velk. He seems age appropriate.
Might
It's
be,
the horns, isn't it?
you know.
It's, you know.
She likes bad boys.
You think Tika wouldn't like bad boys? Okay.
Yeah.
Man,
Nice girls and bad boys.
I mean, her weapon is a garden shear, of course. She's gonna want a bad boy. But
So what
yeah.
do we think? I don't know.
Yeah, Basten kind of steps forward and he nods and he's just like, "You have done enough for me and my kind. I've all I've asked was to come across the wall. You have produced this. I am not asking you to join us on a crusade. Um, but because you both have 2 of our uh, intended artifacts, I would prefer if either we could work out a trade so that we can take them from you, or in the worst case, and I hate to ask this of you, but I would prefer entrusting your group with any that we find."
I will gladly hold on to any statues that we encounter. No problem. I mean, I'd have to consult the rest of the group, see if this is something we're interested in, but I would rather them entrusted to me than just to. Because honestly, if we think about it, these are priceless. So, what could you even offer to trade that would be worth the future fate of your people and peace?
He pulls out a compass, and you can see that it has a broken needle. Doesn't point north. And it kind of just like jostling it makes it kind of spin around on its own. But he's like, I only have this, which is what we were going to use for our crusade.
World peace for a broken compass?
Yes, where exactly is this pointing to right
Well, we
now?
got to find 10 plus more of these statues if we're even going to remotely talk about world peace. And if 2 of them were on our side of the wall, do we even know how many are on each side of the wall? You know, uh, what is this? If this compass doesn't point north, where does it point?
You see him nod, and then you see him go through the motions of casting a spell, uh, and Bahodi recognizes it as being uh, his kind of misty step, but he
Yeah.
channels all of the arcane energy into the compass, and as it absorbs it, you see the needle spin until it creates a holographic image of a lion,
Hmm.
and
A jade lion?
the lion is pointing in a northwesterly direction. And it kind of looks down and is like, once you have attuned yourself to the compass, it is easy to channel arcane energy through it and have it lead you to a statue.
I see. So this compass is tied to the statues.
Correct.
Okay, so if you're taking these 2 statues, why are you giving us the compass?
How will you find the others?
Yeah.
Well, this is why I would entrust you to find the others.
Okay.
I lean over to Mara and I'm like, I do think it might be a good idea to have the people that are very, very good at exploiting and have a lot of knowledge on our side.
Yeah, that was what I was gonna say, friends. Like I'm a man of who has a thirst for knowledge as well. I don't necessarily want to go be somebody's errand boy. Uh, why can't we all go together at a certain variable point? You were gonna go search for the statues yourself, but now you found us. We got these 2 statues. You want to take them and have us go find the 10 plus other ones. If not, then you're keeping the compass and you're gonna go search for them, and we keep these 2, right? That's the trade that's on the table here.
And
So
any we find, we bring to you for safekeeping.
Oh, Velk, you gonna come back and visit?
yeah, what are we gonna do then in the meantime? We're on the other side of this wall to figure out what's over here and why there's a rift, and to find the knowledge of our past, the knowledge of our creation. I want to go search. I want to cruise around. That's the whole reason I'm here, is to go search for powers and knowledge unknown. So whatever points us in that direction, magical compass or not, you got my vote.
The older tiefling steps forward. Um, Either way, you would be doing what you have set out to do. You would be exploring the world, especially if none of you are from this part of the world. There is differences here. I can only imagine pain that Basten had to deal with on his side.
Mm.
But here there is great turmoil. The orc city of Hagnar is marshaling its forces against the drow city of Ashengard as we speak. There is a city of the undead to the south that looms ever present in the coastline against Arcanol. The great glacier in the southwest is starting to stir, and whatever was imprisoned there millennia ago seems to be awakening. But really, the only city that seems to have fared remotely well is the city of Momont to the west. It is secluded enough. Even the great elven city in the trees has befallen some dark and nefarious ploy with their great lake. Trouble, it seems, is not in short supply.
Not a place you want to vacation in the summer. Got it.
And if we unite all the statues, that will change. Right?
That's what we believe. Yes.
Then
I'm
is it
in.
not our duty to do it? I think we should.
I came here for adventure, and this sounds like a grand one.
I'm ready. I'm ready to hunt down some statues.
And Basten willingly hands over the compass, and he kind of holds out his hands expectantly for the jade statues.
I thought you wanted me to hold on to this.
If you are taking the compass, then we will hold on to the statues.
Okay. We just hold it for a few more seconds. We spent a lot of time together.
So we got elephant and monkey. Looks
I
like
would
we're
vote-
searching for a lion next.
No, we have fox and monkey.
Oh, fox and monkey.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know. Elephant and monkey.
Yep.
I just want there to be an elephant one.
There is. Spoilers.
Do we know? Yeah. Do we? The spoilers. Yeah. Do Geralt or Velk know? Or sorry, Basten or Velk know? How many or like what other animals we could be looking for? Is there a checklist that we know of?
Velk looks around and he's like, if an animal exists, it is almost assured that there is a statue to represent it.
That's a lot of animals.
I mean, I have never seen one of anything that represents a monstrosity like a displacer beast or a blink dog, but as far as like a regular dog or a wolf, there are for sure. In some journals that I have seen, there are pictures that have been drawn of certain statues. Some might have been destroyed by greed. So just be aware that it is not an endless quest. There is a finite number.
Amount.
Mhm.
Yeah. Gotcha. Well, I guess lions.
Here's what I'm
next.
willing to do. I'm willing to leave one of our statues with you guys, but we will keep one with us, and we'll take the compass.
This is
That
a bad
way,
idea.
if anything goes weird with the horny guys, we're covered.
Also, valid point. Such a good point. Also, we'll be able to put the statue next to these statues we find if we get some hot, glowy
Glow.
action. We know we got a legit statue and not some replica or something that somebody, tried to recreate to.
Or mimic.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. I didn't even think of that. My poor fingers.
So not only will it protect us in the end, in case there's any jabatery, it will also
Jabatery.
help us.
Battery.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Will also help us in our pursuit, and potentially we could find things even faster.
You see Basten about to say something in contrast to what you're offering, and Velk's hand kind of comes up to his shoulder and just kind of pats it. And he's like, this sounds like a good idea.
Yeah. It's a fraud detector because we know we got two legit statues here. It's not, it's collateral and a fraud detector. It's serving multiple purposes.
It also
Bastian,
seems to be a bit of an anxiety easer for Mara. So if you could let us have this.
It's a comfort blanket.
Yeah.
we've been through a lot
It's
together.
an emotional security fox.
Yeah.
Bastian, you asked us to
Emotional
trust
support
you
fox.
while you were on the ship, so now I'm asking you to trust us.
Oh, dear.
You have earned my trust and more. And if my father senses no ill intent in your desire to hold on to this jade fox, I will gladly take the monkey into our possession.
If that's all right with you, Miss Tika.
Sorry. I'm just thinking about her handing it to Velk and just being so excited. Yeah, no, this is fine with Tika. She once again takes it out of her rucksack that's basically half the size of her.
Yeah.
And grabs it and goes, "All right. Now we're trusting you." And she hands it, maybe Bastion's trying to take it, but she's
Yeah.
very purposefully trying to
Yeah.
hand it to Velk.
Yeah. And Velk, you see the same kind
Game.
of the same
That
kind of
game.
attention where he does come down to one knee, so he's eye level with you, and with great reverence and care, like he's being handed a child, he just kind of takes it from your hands, and it easily fits in one hand of his, but he uses his other thick kind of Thanos-esque hand to put it on the base to hold it. And the second that you release it from your grasp, the ship rocks.
Mm.
And there's
Oh yeah, the land.
no. There's a pillar of fire of just lava that shoots up from beneath and comes up straight where the first mast is, incinerating it and the sails. And as the lava dissipates and starts to kind of creep over the edges of the ship, you see these three strange creatures that I think only Bahodi has ever
Stretching.
really seen. Two of them seem to be maybe 2.5 to 3 feet tall, and the third one looks to be just under 4 feet. Bahodi, if you'd like to make an Arcana check,
I would.
I would let you know what these things are. You'll be starting off the rolls of the day.
Mm.
Do a 20 again, like your first roll last time.
8.
8.
Like a 20.
That's
Different.
that's like almost 20.
Yeah.
Close.
Close, pretty close.
It's not difficult. You don't remember the name, but you do know that these things are devils.
Okay.
Devil.
Yeah. For
Some sort of flame demons.
kind of, they are red-skinned, almost the same shade as Basten and Velk.
So
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, are they the consistency of the lava, or was the lava just like the wave that surfed them in and they jumped off of it, kind of thing?
Yeah, the lava was their entrance. They are red-skinned. They have this little ridge of horns, 3 on each side of their heads, that kind of lead down into these 2 spiked kind of ears. They're very thin, they're lithe, they're short, they have these cloven feet, these kind of gnarled, clawed hands, these bat-like wings that protrude from the small of their backs, and the most defining feature, though, is this segmented, thick scorpion tail that kind of whips around from their behind.
Hmm. Go time.
Bastion, you know these guys?
He shakes his head, and as he does, the lead devil kind of points towards the jade statue that Velk is holding, and you just hear it lash out in a language that I don't think any of you know. Maybe Bahodi? What are the languages Bahodi knows?
Oh man. Let's see. No, where's it at?
Should be on the left-hand side of the character sheet.
No. I see actions, racial traits, class features, feats, descriptions, notes, but on the left-hand side is just the proficiencies in languages.
Yeah.
Oh no, proficiencies in languages.
Yeah, there
So
you go.
celestial and common. Sorry. yeah.
Okay. Yes. No, you don't know.
I have thieves' can't.
Oh. Well, when thieves can't, you can. But let's roll initiative, everybody.
Hey.
Here we go.
Yep.
Oh, that was almost good.
Right?
Mine wasn't even almost good.
That was-
I think I got a nat 20 plus 6.
yeah, 26.
I went from a 14 to an 18 to a 4.
No.
Yeah, I also got a 4.
So what is that? What does that put Tika at?
4.
4. Oh, no modifier. Got it. I'm learning so much today.
I'm at a 5.
Yeah, I see that.
I'm gonna top off my coffee.
17.
I got it. And then 26 for Mara.
17.
Yeah. So no surprise, Mara gets to start us off.
Again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Last time I started us off first, it was my first time ever playing D&D. So I was like,
What I do?
And now you
Okay.
have so many more games under your belt.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so let's see. We've got how many enemies? 2?
There are 3 total. 2
3.
that are kind of shorter than 3 feet, and 1 that is shorter than 4 feet. So he's got like a
4
little bit
feet.
of a foot on the other 2. He's a little bigger.
Big dog and 2 side dogs.
Yeah. They're currently at the front of the ship, and they're just kind of aggressively floating closer.
And they see me for sure.
Yeah, they've seen the group.
Okay.
We're like at opposite ends. There's a group here, and then the 3 of them at the bow.
Wow.
Right.
Yeah. And you're near the aft.
Gotcha.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna move in for attack then. So
Mhm.
they're in within attack range
Oh,
of
easily, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'd like to equip my short bow for now.
Okay.
And go for an attack there.
Oh.
So we're gonna attack just the closest one. Perfect. I'll go for the 4-foot guy. He's got height
Oh.
advantage. Maybe that means he's like the leader or something. So let's try to get an early hit on him.
Maybe.
So we're gonna go for that. And then
Okay. So
do I
you're gonna roll your short bow attack.
okay. Do I need to see if I hit or
Yeah. So you need to roll the attack first to hit. Then if you hit, we'll see what your damage looks like.
I got a 9.
Oh no.
Okay, no hit.
That is that's not gonna hit. I was like, oh, these guys are chump change. They'll be eaten up. Not with 9s.
No,
Oh.
no.
So the little
That was Stevar's number.
the arrow flies wide, and just as it's about to hit its target, you see just a little spew of magma come back up as it's still bubbling on the ship, and it just eats up the arrow, and it put up its hands defensively, waiting for the impact, and then it kind of opens its eyes. It's surprised that it hasn't been impacted, and then just kind of growls in your direction.
I think I just made it mad.
Maybe. Bahodi,
Yes.
it is your turn.
All right.
In the distance, a hurdy-gurdy starts up.
Is it playing action music? Let's go with let's I'm gonna target the same big dog that Mara was targeting with a witch bolt.
Yep. Oh, you're gonna step up and brandish your glowing finger, your ET finger.
This.
Oh, draw the rune. Roll to attack. Let's see what happens.
My eyes roll back in my head. All right, this is the hit. Ting, 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 ting. 10.
10 will not hit.
Missed with it.
Yeah, the lightning kind of arcs towards him, and splinters of wood come down from the falling sail that is still kind of burning and being eaten up, and the lightning just doesn't find its mark.
Well, that's unfortunate.
That brings us to the actual imp itself, the big boy, and he will definitely float over to Mara. And he's gonna try to sting you with its tail. A 4 on the dice is not enough.
Yes.
this wickedly barbed tail just comes flying at you, and you just kind of sidestep it, batting it away with the bow at the same time, and it just kind of. The little imps come over and get on either side of Bahodi. 17 on the die will hit, and a total of 14. I don't think hits Bahodi. This is AC.
I got AC 13.
Oh, so yeah, so 2 hits. The barbed tails both find purchase in your soft flesh. One does 3 points of damage, and the other one does 4 points of damage.
All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Yeah.
There we go.
But Mara sees these two both kind of find purchase in Bahodi. Ika sees it. Savars definitely sees this. They have drawn first blood. And it brings us to Savar.
So he sees this, and he's going to run to the two that are attacking Bahodi, and the closest one to him, he's going to attack with his great sword. And
Okay.
he's going to do, can I reckless without being enraged?
I think so.
What? Let me double check.
Yeah.
When you make your, yeah, it's just when I make my first attack. So I'm going to reckless attack without being enraged.
Okay.
So first roll
Advantage on the
is
roll.
okay. It was almost a crit. So
Oh.
19 to hit.
19's going to hit.
And then that's 2d6 plus 3, 14.
14. You cleave it in twain. Just cut it in half, and you see that as you expect the body to kind of fall limp on either side, as it's about to hit the deck of the ship, you just see it engulfed in flames. And there's this kind of smell of sulfur, and the body just dissipates down through the ship, leaving the shadowed outline of where it would have landed.
I think he farted when he died.
It brings us to Tika, though.
So is the ship's mast and things still like a bit on fire, being that there is lava?
The majority of the mast is a burning husk. The big thing that's on fire is the sail.
Okay.
And the kind of rigging where the sail would be attached to at the top of the mast.
Okay. So bit of RP might not be the most beneficial, but Tika is going to cast she's going to look up at this situation and realize that they're on a ship in an ocean and they need it. So she's going to cast create water above them at 2nd level, which will actually allow it to rain down and extinguish any exposed flames in the area.
Okay. Nice.
So it's not enough to like, bug up the ship with a bunch of water, but it's enough that we can expose the flames on the sail.
Yeah.
And then she is just going to kind of re-grab at her quarterstaff walking stick and smack it a little bit and imbue Shillelagh so that if she has to, she can break it down.
Shillelagh.
And then can I move like closer to Mara?
Yeah, of course.
Very protective.
Yeah. The rain starts. Yeah. The rain starts to fall. It is cool. On this side of the storm wall.
Very cool.
It is much colder now that you're getting wet. You can kind of sense that there's a much different temperature to this side of the storm wall. And you notice that as each raindrop kind of hits these imps, that there's an immediate kind of hiss and that little bit of steam that comes off of them. Like they are running at high temperatures. But it brings us back to Mara.
Oh, all right. So we've got 2 left.
Yep. There's
The
little
closest
guy.
one. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, there's little guy on Bahodi, and the big guy is in front of you.
I'm definitely gonna take care of Mr. Big.
Okay.
So I equip both of my daggers. Maybe I shouldn't do that actually. If he's really hot, maybe I should keep a distance actually. Well, I can throw them. I don't want to throw them yet. I'm gonna try my short bow again. I changed my mind.
So you would want to use your bonus action to disengage and at least move away. Because anytime that you fire a ranged weapon into combat, if you're in it or in combat, you would otherwise get disadvantage.
Oh, okay.
And so to avoid that,
he's right in front of me.
Yeah.
I get my daggers out. Okay, we're back to Dagger Town. So I got 2 dual wielding daggers. Sorry, and we're just gonna stay right here. So no need to disengage. He's right in front.
Yeah.
And we're gonna try to go for the double.
Okay. Double bent gum.
Double went down to Valdstrum.
17 plus 5, 22.
Oh yeah, that hits.
That smacks.
Okay. And then do you want me to just roll damage for that one?
Yes.
And then
Because you
One at
do
a
get
time.
sneak attack.
Oh, perfect. So
Yeah, swashbuckler.
let's see. Damage, it looks like 3 plus 3 is the 6, and then I need to add sneak. So I roll a sneak die?
Yeah.
Or do you want me to do that on my second one?
No, you can do it on this one.
Okay. Boom.
4 more.
4. So that's 10 total.
Jesus. You got him.
Ooh.
So you don't even need to bring your second arm down. Your first arm just finds the soft kind of cradle of where the neck meets the shoulder, and there's this just regurgitating sound as it spits up this black bile. And the same thing happens as it's about to slump onto the deck of the ship. You see it just kind of burn up. It leaves this black outline where the body would have been, and there's just this scent of sulfur.
Oof.
But he
No.
also
Nice job, kid.
he also does leave what looks to be a shard of a ruby.
I snatch it immediately. I don't even wait for it to cool off.
Yeah, it is hot to the touch, but luckily I think you have leather gloves,
Yes.
so you can just play hot potato with it.
Now, question.
Yeah.
Am I in range to throw my other dagger at the other guy?
You technically are, yes. So you could make that attack roll.
Do I sacrifice the dagger forever, or can I go pick it up?
If he disappears with the dagger, you will have lost the dagger, but I
It
think
doesn't fall out.
yeah, you might be safe enough to keep that dagger.
I'm going to throw my dagger. Okay.
And by the heft of the ruby in your hand, you're feeling that it's gonna be the ruby itself is at least 100 gold pieces. So even if you lose this dagger, like you'll easily be able to replace it.
Thank you. That's a good point. That's a great point. Okay, I'm going to roll to hit if you're ready for me.
Do it.
Can melt down that gold and make a gold dagger.
I got an 8.
And-
That's not going to hit.
An 8 will barely miss the little guy. Just kind of tinks off of the tough skin. One of his wings kind of comes over, just creates a shield for him. But it brings us back to Bahodi.
Oh God.
I think I have to go with these guys are lava. I'm gonna have to hit this guy on my left with a ray of frost.
Okay. So just like the situation with Mara, you are rolling a range attack into combat. So you're going to roll twice and keep the lower of the 2.
Okay. 13
13 looks good.
and 13.
Okay, so either way, it's taking a ray of frost to the face. Roll your damage.
Just 2.
It was enough. It completely becomes encased in ice. You see it just kind of stand there, and because he was floating in air, it kind of comes crashing down to the deck of the ship. And as he shatters, each piece starts to kind of melt with the heat that comes off of his body, and there's little black spots where it was, again, just kind of evaporates into this blackness, and that's the scent of sulfur.
Mm.
Any crystals?
No.
Bodhi,
no.
did you just say mm?
Yeah, I love the smell of sulfur in the morning.
Yeah, the little guys did not leave anything behind. Only the big guy left his ruby.
Just checking, just in case.
His family jewels, if you will.
Yeah.
Oh. No,
Yeah.
thank you.
If anything, we know that the driving virtue for Mara is greed.
Mostly just shiny, but yeah, sure.
If it reflects light, I want it.
That's true.
If it looks like a cute little animal, I want it.
Yep.
I want it too. If it fulfills both criteria, I definitely want it.
That's right.
So,
And I will spoon it.
but yeah, the 3 of them have been batted away, sent back to whatever hell pit spawned them. And there's a moment where Basten kind of comes over to look over your shoulder and look down at the ruby, and he kind of turns to his side and spits over the edge of the ship. Recognize this symbol, the jewel. Does not bode well. And you've been looking at the ruby. There is no symbol inside the ruby.
Oh.
But what were you gonna say, Tika?
Oh, I was just gonna make a smart comment where I said, speaking of Bode, and I was gonna go cast Cure Wounds on Bodhi.
Oh,
Oh.
It's healing for 10.
nice.
That was quite a good roll.
Back to full.
Like it never happened.
Yeah.
That's a good band-aid.
You notice that the traditional green energy that the traditional, if I could get my words correctly, scent of your garden, all of that is missing from you knitting his wounds closed. There's a bluish
I'm quite sad.
tint. There's still that kind of hint of green, but you kind of get the scent of crunched leaves.
Okay. Okay.
But yeah, Basten kind of taps on the ruby, and that's when Mara notices there's a swirl of something inside of it. And it does kind of come to rest on what looks to be a rune, a symbol, more than anything, of a broken, curved trident with rose vines wrapped around the pieces, thorns prominently displayed, and 3 blooms in a diagonal line from top left to bottom right.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Did y'all see this?
And you see that once it comes to rest, it slowly fades away, and the gem has to be jostled again to kind of make it appear.
Do you think this makes it more valuable or less? Can't tell.
To the right people, it is extremely valuable. That's a symbol of the Nev-Nil-Mar clan.
Again,
They don't
please?
seem like very nice people, huh?
No, they are one of the most ruthless and vile clans of the pit.
A clan of what?
House of who to what now?
Devils, monsters, the worst of the worst.
Are they responsible for any of the trouble at all the locations that you listed off earlier?
It might be. He kind of turns. Father, is there any proof of the clan? And the older tiefling kind of looks up as if thinking. I have heard of their influence in the ear of the immortal emperor of Hagnar. Yes, it is said that one of the clan is consort to the emperor. Maybe the cause of his sudden bloodlust. But as far as the other cities, I don't think I have. Maybe in the mountains to the north where the dwarven islands are, but the dwarves keep to themselves. It's rare for any news to come out of the island. They might let you in because of your beautiful halfling friend here.
Oh my goodness. Well, and she just fixes her hair a bit.
Yeah.
Well, if it's not northwest, towards the lion, towards the jade lion, I'm not really interested.
What is
I'm
to the
interested.
northwest?
From here, the northwest, you can get to. If you go west first, you can get to Cove City, and then Charter.
And Momont, right, is to the west.
Momont is on the far west side. You are closest to the eastern coast, however.
Okay.
Coast City is directly west of here, give or take. Hagnar is northwest of here. Ashengard is north primarily, but a little west as well. Directly northwest, you could probably get to, if you could find the passage there, you could get to the Dwarven Island, which is near the Great Crown of Frost. But otherwise, yes, if you can make your way to the other coast of the city, you could find Momont.
I think Bodhi has it right. Our primary mission has to be to follow the compass and the lion, the blind finger. So, I mean, I'm cool to keep this as in my brain, as imps not nice. Imps sometimes drop shiny, but typically not nice. And if we encounter more, maybe we'll find more shiny. So I think we go that way. Not on this ship, though. This ship needs work before we go anywhere. I can tell you that.
There's another rock as the ship feels like something has hit it. And there's a sudden trepidation as flashbacks start to flood Mara as these barbed tentacles come up out of the water and start to creep onto the deck itself. And you see pieces of the ship starting to be torn apart by these massive, maybe 35 to 40 feet long and like maybe 12 to 15 foot thick tentacles. And you can just hear something under the ship roaring angrily. Bubbles of air coming up on either side of the ship.
Kraken?
The elder, Velk the elder, kind of looks around. If you value your lives, please get off the ship. And you see him go over to one of the sides and jump into the water.
How far are we from land?
Barely visible on the horizon.
Is there a dinghy on this boat?
There's a few. There's a couple. They're already being pushed out over the side.
Let's secure a dinghy.
Yeah. the captain and the first mate and some of the crew are fighting off some of the tentacles. You can hear what sounds like an explosion under the water. There's flash of light. You can see just that kind of plume of water come up over the side. And Basten kind of kneels in front of Tika, grabs her hand forcefully and kisses the kind of second and third knuckle. I have to protect my father. Please get yourselves to safety. And you see him rush over and dive over the side that his father jumped over as well.
I grab Mara and start to go towards the side of the ship.
Same side or different side?
Same side.
Okay. You can see the two red shapes clearly maybe about 10, 12 feet under the water, and you can just see magic coming from both of them. There are definite spell effects that are going on. You can see the same kind of energy that you've seen Bahodi call when he does his Eldritch Blasts. You can see little orbs of this faint light that have outlined a good about 25 feet of this creature's body, and you can just see this massive maw, this cat-like face, kind of catfish-like face with these massive double tentacles on either side and these jagged teeth in its maw, and it just has rows almost like sharks do. And the tentacles kind of protrude outward, but it does have this lobster-like bottom half that is kind of attached itself to the bottom of the ship, and you can just see these spider-like limbs are just drilling into the bottom of the ship.
Is there any time as we go there, if I can see them below the water, can I cast Shield of Faith on Bastian?
Sure.
So that will just at least give him a +2 bonus to his AC.
Yeah.
So
We need to help
And
them,
then-
right? They're part of our plan.
I look.
They need to
tomorrow, we
survive.
jumping.
So yeah,
There's a hard crunch, and the side of the ship next to the two of you just suddenly sinks as a tentacle comes crashing down. The front of the ship and the back of the ship are now separated. There is this heavy chunk of a tentacle that is pulling in the middle, and both parts of the ship are coming up slowly. But you do hear the captain. There's room on this ship, on this dinghy over here. You four coming?
Onto it.
yeah. Let's go, guys. Now or never.
Savar,
I run after them.
Howdy, Renji.
Follow.
Yeah, where's the Renji?
Yeah, Kiba and Orenji are already
Kiba.
in the dinghy.
Good,
Okay.
great.
Uh,
All right, let's go. We gotta.
And as the four of you board the dinghy, Orenji kind of hops over and just sits on Mara's shoulder. But you can feel that he is shaking. Like there is fear in this little monkey.
Oh, I convert him.
But the ship is dropped, and the massive ship that was the phase Gambit is suddenly splintered and crunched, and you can start to see it floating down and just sinking beneath the waves. And you can still hear the sound of spell casting. You can still see the flashes of light here and there. But after a moment, there's just this bubbling as the aft and the fore of the ship just completely go under the water. There's a loud roar, and then there's a heavy crunch, and bits of flotsam and jetsam just start to float onto the surface. And as the surface is cluttered in lumber, in tattered kind of sails and the miscellaneous accoutrement that existed inside the ship. You don't see Basten. You don't see Velk. But you do see certain bodies start to come up to the surface of the crew that didn't make it.
Not again.
And slowly, the two dinghies that survived start to make their way towards land. It is evening when somebody points out that there are some lights dancing across a little bit too high to be on the water's surface. And sure enough, Mara is one of the few people that would recognize it as a ship distance.
I alert the crew, guys, everybody heads up, ship in the distance.
And some people start waving, some people start calling out, and more lights start to be hung over the sides of this ship. And as the lights start to create an outline, you can see that it is a massive 3-mast galleon that's coming towards you. And you hear the sound of a boatswain's whistle and ropes being tossed over the side. And just help is being offered. You can hear people talking about, get them up, get them help, whatever they need. And as your dinghy comes up near the aft of the ship, in beautiful calligraphy, this two-tone color of blue and red shadow, you can see the name of the ship is the Forlorn Shanty. But people come down, they help get any of those that are injured up onto the ship, and on the deck you can see what looks to be 3 people kind of ordering, one in particular ordering people around, but there's 2 that are with him. There's a human male, there's a half-elf male, and there is a Goliath female. The half-elf kind of steps forward. He introduces himself as Captain Ensign Darvish. And Captain Vamiira Haethrou kind of introduces herself, introduces the remaining surviving members of her crew, and then introduces the 4 of you as sellswords, or, heroes, really, as you've protected her ship a few times. And that's when the half-elf kind of steps forward. It's good then that we have found you. My name is Ensign Darvish. I am the captain of the ship. We are currently on our way to Arcanol, having just finished our trade with Ashengard City in the north. Is this fine with your crew? And Vamiira just nods. Like, we'll take any help. However it is offered, I'm just glad that I managed to save some of my crew. I've never seen a thing like that where I'm from. And at this point, the half-elf kind of steps over to your group. I don't mean any disrespect, but is your ship coming from Hagnar?
I thought we were going to Hagnar. I'm old though.
And you see his eyes open wide, and he's just like, willingly going to the Orcish city.
Like I said, don't listen to me. I'm 113 years old.
I'm not one to judge. Trade is trade, but we of the free cities have more or less sanctioned Hagnar and are trying to stay away from the current conflict in the north.
Mm. What seems to be the driving anchor of that ill will?
The immortal emperor has deemed his territory not enough, and he's making pushes. His first big push has come against the Drow city in the north of Ashengard.
Yeah, we heard they were mobilizing.
Um, he looks at the Goliath woman, who is just this massive, almost 7 foot tall, bald, gray skinned, beautiful, kind of angled featured face with these very deep, dark blue eyes and what looks to be ritualistic carving on the left side of her face. He calls her over. He's like, "This is Lina Ulsworn. She's one of my most trusted advisors and my first mate. Lina, are we able to detour to Cove City to drop off some of these people?" She looks and kind of thinks for a moment, scratching her chin, kind of putting her hand the bottom lip. It is possible to detour, but this time of year, Cove City is infested with pirates.
I'm not afraid of any pirates.
Yeah, I'm a pirate. Kind of.
He
You got a
Nerd
problem with
pirate.
pirates?
he takes a
Nerd
step
pirate.
back when you say that.
Kind of.
But she's like,
Odie.
then
What?
yes, I think it would be best then if we left you with your people.
Yeah,
There
I'm
would
ready to go.
there would be no trade in it for us, as there's nothing we have that they want. But sometime off the ocean might be good for the men, the morale. He
So
nods.
shore leave.
He nods and he's like, "All right, let's change course then, please, Lina." And she nods and starts making her way up towards where the wheel is. And you can see people being called into action and moving the sails to try and catch a different angle of the wind. The captain kind of looks over at you. What happened to your ship, if you don't mind me asking? Why are you out here?
Where do we start?
There was a giant tentacle, and then there was no ship. It it it, it crunch, lots of crunching.
Does it get any simpler than that?
He looks surprised. You're describing a Kraken attack, but this is too far south for a Kraken.
Apparently not.
It had a face more like maybe a catfish, and it was quite ugly.
Yeah, I've never seen a pretty Kraken, so I can assure you you've hit the nail on the head. Ah,
Our crew did their best to fight it off, but most were not as successful as we were in escaping.
It's unfortunate if a Kraken has.
It hit us right after we had killed some devils. So I don't know if that had anything to do with it, but that might be why
Yes,
it was so
tiny
far south.
tiny winged creatures with horns and tails, and they smell like farts when you kill them.
Yeah, extra party.
Are you describing tieflings?
No.
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 Think less tiefling. Tiefling plus scorpion tail.
Yes, scorpion tails, not like spades.
Also smaller.
Yeah.
Very small.
Less than 3 feet, sometimes less than 4.
Sometimes they
Big
drop.
ones kind of poop out a ruby.
Yeah. Which, by the
Ruby.
way, if they do that here, I get called dibs.
Dibs. Damn it. She beat me.
Yeah.
Snooze, you lose. Bodhi.
Yeah, he's like that may have something to do with it, but if Krakens are being pushed further south, that bodes ill for these trade routes. Where was your ship from originally? Where were you headed?
We were headed northwest. We were going northwest. We were following a well, I don't know if I'm.
We were following our intuition.
Our intuition.
Were you birthed at Cove City then before you left, or?
Are you in the habit of asking people where they were birthed? Where were you birthed?
Where were you
It's a little
birthed?
intrusive.
Yeah,
We've
why don't you just
met.
shine a lantern in my eyes,
Yes,
officer?
I was birthed by a dragonborn, very lovely woman, full of magic.
He holds up his hand. He's like, no, you misunderstand. Not birth with an I, birth with an E. Like, where was your ship birthed? Like, where did you come from?
We knew that. We were just testing you.
Yeah.
I see. I hope I
We came
passed.
from outside the wall.
The wall.
The veil.
He points off into the distance, and you can see just this kind of streaks of lightning, kind of glow that rumbles every so often. The storm wall.
Yes.
Yes.
How? No one has come through the wall in centuries.
There's a rift now.
Where?
Get us to our destination and we'd be happy to tell you.
We should be within Cove City within the 2 days.
Fantastic.
I hope you find our accommodations acceptable. See him just turn around and walk away.
I could use a good long rest.
A good long rest, maybe some ale and some food. That would be.
Well, that's fully expected in a long rest, right? You have to start with the food and the ale.
In the sleeping time.
No?
I don't know, he kind of just walked away from us, so should we ask? Is there a galley?
I
Self-serve.
mean, I guess we could look around. It
Fishing
seems like
pole.
it's free range.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys want to explore?
Yes,
Yes.
Or food?
absolutely.
Well, we should also see if in where we're going to be staying, there is some safe places for keeping our special things. We don't want them taken from us.
I keep my special things right here. Can't.
You're right.
Are we talking
You
about our
beautiful
weapons? My
champion.
sword is on my back.
Yes.
I keep my special sword. It's okay.
You know what? Let's just get to the ale. That seems like maybe.
Yes.
Step 1, ale. Step 2, figure out step 2.
Yeah. You all
Step
go
4,
downstairs. Yeah. Whatever 3 is doesn't matter, but 4 is where we need to get to. You go downstairs, and the scent of freshly made food or freshly eaten food is kind of still lingering. And you can see that there are some plates that are being cleaned up, things like that. There is the same kind of galley. You can see that off into the after the ship is the kitchen. Excuse me. And you see this portly man kind of washing dishes, look over at the 4 of you. Oh, I heard that we took on some stowaways. You hungry?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
All right. Grab a seat. Serve you up what's left.
Thank you kindly.
Can I do a
Thank you.
perception check on this cook just because we had a bad experience with our last cook?
You sure can.
Thank you. I just want to make sure.
Yeah. Investigate to your heart's content.
I just have to find
You can roll perception or investigation, whichever you'd like.
I like the idea of investigation where she's just like eyeing him up and down. Like,
Yeah.
does he look like he eats his own food?
Does he look like he
Does
might
he
eat a
s-
child?
Yeah.
16.
I rolled a 16, yeah,
Um,
for perception.
no, he looks like he's on the up and up. There's nothing that kind of would give away that he is a flesh-eating monster. He is just this rotund, portly, excuse me, human male, clean-shaven. This kind of what looks to be long salt and pepper hair that's kind of kept underneath a handkerchief right now, kind of do-rag.
Oh.
Simple, kind of gray eyes. A couple short scars on the right side of his cheek. Kind of like maybe a fork was used aggressively against him at some point in his life. But otherwise, he comes back with one communal plate of what looks to be fried chicken or roasted chicken, a communal plate of mashed potatoes, and
Oh.
just this tankard of ale and a couple wooden glasses. And then he kind of pulls his apron aside, and from his pocket, he pulls out what might be a quarter left of this dark, very almost brown bottle with a cork top. But he shakes it, puts it on the table. I figured after what you've been through, you might need something harder than ale, so this is a personal stash of rum.
Well,
Thank
a
you.
gentleman is he.
I want to test the rum. I want to put my finger in it and make sure it's not.
Poisoned?
Yes.
Okay.
Tika, I look over to Tika. I'm like, be on standby. I'm gonna try this.
I was about to take a swig, so you're smarter than I, young girl.
Okay. Yeah, you put your finger in the front, kind of let some of the rum come up to it, and as you taste it, it is not poisonous in any way, shape, or form. There is this heavy kind of fruity taste to it, though. It is definitely something that you've never had before. This is not a rum that you are familiar with, and there are notes of vanilla as an aftertaste.
I turn to Mark and go, is it poison?
It is not, but it's unlike anything I've ever had.
Sounds good.
It sounds
And I
good
take a
to
swig.
me. I follow suit.
Yeah, pass it.
Okay.
I abstain. I'm still sus.
Yeah.
I don't drink.
Damn it, it's Tika and Savar again.
Yeah. Once bitten, twice shy. But yeah, the two of you start to pass the bottle around, and
Or
The
back and forth. I
back and
guess.
forth.
So
you could pass with the right hand one time and then pass with the left hand the next time. So that's how you go around. Switch it up, you know. The more you drink of the rum, the stronger the vanilla becomes. To the point where after the third sip, you no longer feel the heat of the rum. It is like candy.
This is
this is
quite
amazing.
delicious.
Yes, Mara, I don't know why you're not imbibing. This is absolutely lovely.
Well, sometimes when I drink, I lose my shinies, and I just, I
Well, you could
lot of
ask
gambling on
Bodhi to hold
ships.
on to them for you.
Bodhi?
I don't drink. Daenerys forbids it.
Will you watch my shinies to make sure nobody takes my shinies if I
Yeah, I
get too
got your
drunk?
shinies. If you want to get wasted, I'll make sure that you wake up with shinies.
Yeah. Designated
Okay.
designated shiny holder.
Yes,
Yeah.
please. And promise me that none of you will engage in any gambling that I offer, okay?
Oh, I do love a good gamble, but I'll hold to it.
Thank you. All right,
I'll
I'll take
try
a
my
sip.
best.
The chef comes over the second you take your sip, and he kind of puts down a large deck of cards. He's like, I heard gambling.
Mara begins to sweat.
Tika has just kind of like a shit-eating grin and is like looking at Mara to see what Mara says.
I don't gamble. But if I did, what are you playing?
3 Dragon Ante, of course. We could play a child's game though if that's too much for you. And you see him drop a small burlap sack that sounds like there's maybe 20 coins in there.
I think he might have shinies.
Buddy, give me my ruby.
Here you go.
Ooh!
Thank you.
That
Well,
didn't
nice
take long.
having you.
Yeah.
All right, I do want you to know that that's worth much more than 20 gold or any pieces. That is.
I don't plan on losing.
Oh, God.
Here we go.
Here we go. So he shuffles the cards. He deals out to whoever's playing, and he reaches into his bag and pulls out 15 coins to kind of put them up against the ruby. And he's just like, "This will be my starting bid, my ante." And then he deals out 3 cards. So you're gonna roll 3 6-sided dice. On D&D Beyond, you can easily do it from your character sheet. There's a little die icon in the bottom left, and it'll give you a bunch of dice
I
as
got
options.
11.
12.
What did you
Do I
actually get on the dice themselves? That's what I want to see.
5, 3, and 4.
4, 2, 5.
4, 2, 5.
I got a 5, 2, and a 4.
Okay. Anybody with a 5 and a 4 wins the hand.
Hey. Looks like it's ladies' night.
Yeah, I have a 5 and a 4.
Oh, apologies,
yeah.
apologies,
Yeah,
apologies.
he rolled 5, 3, and 1. So there's no way that he could have beaten a 5 and a 4 at least. You see him kind of spit to the side, and he's like, "All right, again," and he starts to shuffle up the cards. You see him take the deck of cards with him into the kitchen. He comes back with a different deck of cards and a small, what looks to be like a piece of fluorite. It's this beautiful, almost ivory gem that has this kind of lightning bolt streak of blue.
Dibs.
Puts it
Mara.
on the table. There's my auntie.
I want to do a perception check on the deck.
He's shuffling it in front of you, but yes, go ahead.
Why a different deck? Can I use sleight of hand to cheat the cards so I win this? How does that work?
If
No.
if you were the one shuffling,
Trickster.
yes,
Okay.
yes.
Maybe
Excuse
you
me,
could
Master
propose
Chef.
that.
Do you mind if I cut the deck? Just to be fair.
Oh, I mean, of course. I would not want this to look like I was cheating in any way, shape, or form. And he,
New deck, you understand.
yeah, of course. And he finishes shuffling and he just slides it across to you. Go ahead and give
Thank
me your sleight of hand and palm the top card.
I got a 9.
If he noticed you cheating, he does not make any reference to it. But he takes it and he deals out the 3 cards to each of you again. I don't know why I turned off D&D Beyond roller. So go ahead and give me the same thing. Roll 3 dice.
Oops.
Mara can actually roll 4 dice because you have an extra card, and you can choose the 3 that you want to use for the roll.
Okay.
Uh,
So I rolled a 1, 2, 4, and a 6, and I want to drop the 1.
okay. Well, I rolled a
I rolled
1, 2,
a 4,
3.
a 1,
What did Tika get?
a 4, a 1, and a 2.
Or 1, 2. There's a rough moment where he reveals a straight, a 1, 2, and 3. And then as Savar kind of turns over his straight, you see that he's about to grab the jewel, the money, the kind of ruby, and then he sees Savar's hand, slowly picks up his hand and comes back and puts his hand on top of the deck, and he's like, high card or low card for the push, big man.
I will take the high card.
Okay. Roll 1 die. And if you are higher than 4, you win the pot.
1d6.
1d6. 3.
3.
He reveals the top card, and it's a 3 of whatever suit it is. And he kind of smiles and just both hands just brings the whole pot over to his side of the table. He kind of looks, got anything else you wouldn't lose?
Oh, this is not good. Not good.
What do I have? Because I still have the red gem, right?
Oh.
I have the ruby, right? 'Cause I won that the first round, or was this for everything?
That was for everything.
Oh, frick.
So he has
We
the
gotta
ruby
play
now.
again, guys. What can we ante up?
I've got quite a rarity that might seem odd,
Okay.
but if you're so intrigued, I happen to have a Beholderkin eye stalk.
He looks at it. I mean, I can get some good money for that. Yeah, I'll take that as an ante.
Mara, this is for you. You need to win.
And you see that he puts up the ruby against the eye stalk. Like, I think this is more than fair.
Flop the eye stalk down. It's gross.
Right. Again, you see him shuffle. Oh, that's terrible. And you see that He fumbles the cards, which is odd because he looks like he's a natural card dealer. Give me an insight roll, please, Mara. This is something you would have had experience with.
12.
He fumbled the cards on purpose. It looks like he was trying to hide one of the cards, and he covered his tracks.
I look at Tika and I give her a look that tells her what just happened. And then I look back at our buddy, cheater pants.
He just slides the deck over to you. You want to cut it.
Wait, I'm supposed to cut it?
Yeah, you're the one in the hand.
I have like no sleight of hand. Can I make a comment that the deck looks slightly smaller than it should be?
Sure.
Like, how many cards are in this deck?
I mean, standard 61, obviously.
Excellent. And I start to count them out very quickly.
You count
And
out
I get
61 cards.
All right, you're a man of your word. And I cut the deck by taking the top card off and setting it down and the rest of the deck on it. Because that's just a weird dick move.
Thin to win.
Yeah.
But we know he took the card, right?
No, he was going to. He fumbled it to hide that he failed his sleight of hand.
Embarrassing.
So this will be
And I push the deck back.
Yeah, so this will be a straight roll, 3 dice against 3 dice. Neither one of us had the edge.
I'm sorry.
Oh.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to interrupt, but I got guys installing fiber optics
Gotcha.
like through the neighborhood, and they're knocking on my back door now. Sorry, I'll be right back.
Okay.
I'm listening on my phone.
Gotcha.
I'll be right back.
All right, so what did Tika get?
I got a 2, a 5, and a 4.
I also have a 2, a 5, and a 4. So again, he asks, high card or low card for the push.
You know what? You can see by my size that I like to go low. So I'm going to go with a low card.
All right, and you see him draw the card. This time, I'll use my dice, and I rolled a 1. And you just see him throw the deck of cards against the wall.
Yes!
I shouldn't be gambling
Tika.
anyway. And he just takes his winnings and goes back into the kitchen.
What
Tika
winnings?
turns to
We won it
Mara and
all.
High fives her. High fives her.
High five.
Mm.
Well done.
Would like to high five as well.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
High five Savar. And then I hand Mara the ruby and I take my kinstock back.
Yeah. Yeah, you
Do
just
Do I
see
have the
him.
new shiny?
We'll
I have a
find
new
another
shiny,
day.
right? The
No.
tourmaline or whatever.
No, he kept that. He only put
No,
the.
that was just to get the ruby back.
Yeah, this is just for the ruby.
Oh. That's all right, I guess.
But yeah,
Better to break even.
You hear him just grumbling in the kitchen the whole time.
Let's just say I'm glad we got our food before we did our gambling. And I fill my plate with potatoes.
Yum.
Yep. The chicken and potatoes are really, really good. They are
Oh,
excellently made. The chicken is moist. The potatoes are just
Mm.
buttered right. Excuse me. Everything is going well for now. And you do get a long rest. You do get to finally
I need
sleep, heal up whatever you get back any spells that you might have used. The next day, you just kind of continue your search through the ship. The ship has 4 decks, 4 levels. The main deck on top, the lower level where the kitchen and some of the sleeping quarters are. And you notice that there's sleeping quarters, like there's actual rooms for people. But you guys are being kept in the 3rd deck beneath, which is just has a bunch of hammocks. It's a communal kind of sleeping area, and where most of the cargo is being held. And then the lowest deck is locked off.
Okay.
But otherwise, the ship is a regular ship, has 3 masts, 1 poop deck, 1 crow's nest. What do you guys want to do with your next day?
Find out what's in the basement.
Well, yeah, we know people who have secrets for like sell secrets, right? So any information that we can find out stealthily is going to be advantageous for us.
Have we checked the compass in a while to make sure we're going the right way and on our way to the goal?
Who has the compass?
Bodhi, right?
Somebody has to attune to it.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah, I have it in my equipment. I put it in my backpack.
Cool.
Okay.
And
We'll
I'm
s-
the
we'll-
only. It takes Arcana to
Arcane energy.
to fire it up. So I
Good.
figured.
I was just gonna say if we traded it, that I was just gonna give it to you anyway. So perfect.
Yeah. But we'll say that Bahodi has attuned himself to the compass. Yeah, you could
I can
use up.
roll an Arcana check if you want me to.
No, it just eats up one of your spell slots.
Shit. All right.
And you get them back after a short rest, so you're fine.
Okay.
But yeah, you infuse it. All of you see same kind of image of arcane energy flowing out of Bahodi. The tips of his fingers start to glow, and the glow is eaten up by the compass. And you see, because Bahodi has a completely different patron and a different methodology to his magic, the lion that appears looks different. It looks more like it fits Bahodi's paradigm. So what does it look like to them, Bahodi?
So it looks more like my looks more like Denier. Is that what you're saying?
Like it would be influenced by Denier, yeah. So what would a lion that has been influenced by Denier look like?
Oh, okay. So yeah, so it would have, instead of like a bushy mane like you normally have, it has like long, like almost greasy mane, like tendrils of hair rather than big flowing locks of hair. And its body isn't as muscular as it normally looks like. It's a little more sallowed and hallowed, like it hasn't eaten in a few months, even though it has the power, like it feasts on a daily basis. But it just looks like it's a little more skin and bones than the musculature tone of a normal lion's body. And there's no pupil or dilation to its eyes, just like mine. It has an empty gaze that light can radiate out of.
Okay. It is still pointing northwest.
Still pointing northwest, though.
So good. Love it.
So yeah, so you are still nowhere closer, but still on the same kind of side of where it is.
I'm down to pick some basement locks if anyone else wants to
I
join.
knew you were gonna go start picking locks.
There could be
I will
something
be
shiny.
a watchful eye as you pick these locks.
Thank you.
Orenji is also a great scout for things like that. Just for,
Aw.
Yep.
Little Orenji.
Little Renji.
And I'm quite unassuming, so maybe we could just go talk to some of the crew and find out what it's been like.
Over the
Yeah, let us-
over the course of the night, Orenji has stolen the second deck of cards
Nice.
and has brought them over tomorrow.
I give him a little tiny monkey fist pump.
And having checked the cards, they are marked.
I'll keep these just in case.
Just
Yeah, of course. But yeah, if you're gonna try to lockpick these locks, go ahead and make a. Let's have you make a simple sleight of hand check.
15.
Oof. Yeah. Given, are you? I would assume that you are also proficient, or that you've chosen the uh, expertise with your tools. That means you get double. You're actually looking at 17.
I can neither confirm nor deny that.
Or there's maybe like a little dance that happens as you hear certain tumblers clicking into place. There's a kind of moment where you realize that you can't move from one tumbler to the next because the tumblers are designed to be anti-theft, so you have to waste even more of your thieves' tools, kind of keeping everything where it is. So you're doing this very delicate kind of dance of holding one hand with 4 or 5 picks kind of stuck between your fingers in different angles, while jiggling the one actual one that you're kind of using with your dominant hand, and then you hear the final click, and the door slowly creaks open. There is just this whine as the hinge just kind of creeps and just kind of lets out this slow, creepy groan. This door has not been opened in some time.
I shushed the door.
But yeah,
Can
there's
I
a
enter
stairway.
into stealth? I wanna like go into stealth mode.
Yeah.
Allowed.
There's no
Okay.
light coming from downstairs, so whatever is down there is probably not going to see you coming unless it has dark vision.
Cool. Okay.
I'll be right.
Yeah, so you start to sneak down the stairs.
I can always make light if you need me to. But if you want to stay in the darkness, you can stay in the darkness. But I can always make light if you need me to.
Perfect. All right, let's go in. Let's look around. We want to roll perception. Who's
Sure.
got good perception?
Go ahead and roll perception. Anybody that's coming
I guess
down.
I think that's everybody,
Hold
right?
on.
We all.
Yeah.
Yep.
16.
16.
That's a critical fail too.
Oh, that's sad. So 16 and 15 are. Wait, what? Oh no, 16. Yeah, that's
21.
21.
Nice.
Easy. Yeah. The two of you, as you kind of descend into the shadows, both of you have dark vision, so you don't really need light, I don't think. I think Asimars do have dark vision, don't they? If I remember correctly, let me hop into your character sheet to see.
I have Dark One's Blessing.
Yeah, dark vision 60 feet. Okay.
I think I
How
can
do you
see.
know that?
I can see while
Where's
I'm on
that at?
like in the dark on the ship. I'm
Racial
pretty sure I can
traits?
see.
Now, on the left-hand side of your character sheet, underneath your stats, it'll show you right above your tools, your weapon proficiencies, and all that. You'll see it has passive perception, passive investigation, passive insight, and at the bottom it'll say senses, and it'll tell you if you have dark vision or not. You and Mara both have dark
I do.
vision. Yep. So you don't need light down here. And as you descend into the darkness, Red, does Tika have dark vision?
No.
Oh.
I do
I do not either.
Oh,
I do have light that
But-
I can cast at will, but I don't. If we're trying to be stealthy, I don't want to
Yeah.
make
what
us
a
glow.
what a surprise that the drinking duo don't have dark vision. Um, but those of you with dark vision see something, some shadow, some outline of something in the center of the ship, and you can hear what sounds like chains. Something is being held here. And as you descend down, it takes notice of the new shapes that have come down, the new kind of scents, the sounds that are being made. Because even though Mara is trying to be stealthy, everybody else is not as good. But the thing looks past Mara to where the actual noise is coming from, where the actual bodies are descending, and the thing rises to its full stature, and you hear chains kind of rattle as it does. This thing looks to be about 7 feet tall, and there are protrusions coming out of it like just wild hedgehog quills from its head down to the base of its ankles. And it lets out a very throaty roar. And as it does, it extends its hands outward, and you can see these bat like leather wings shake. And the whole room is engulfed in a green flame. Little lanterns suddenly burst to life with green flame and illuminate the entire room in this green, icky kind of viscous color. And this thing looks monstrous. There's no discernible face. You can see its almond shaped orange eyes, or at least what looks to be orange in the light, kind of sitting at the base of what looks to be this crown of quills. There's no nose. There's just this kind of beak-like protrusion of a face that opens up into this maw of jagged, crisscross teeth. And slowly, you see, those of you with dark vision see this kind of puff of smoke create this kind of archway of red and brown light that becomes visible to everybody else. And from it, you can see another red-skinned creature with the same wings and the same scorpion tail come out. And as it does, you hear the snap of its fingers, chains falling and hitting what sounds like the heavy wood of the floor beneath it, and all the lights go dark. This is when I would like you to roll initiative.
Oh my gosh. Whose idea was it to go in the basement? Okay.
Fire it up.
Damn it, Renji.
Right? And trust this monkey.
My initiative was great again.
Oh,
Solid.
sounds
6.
sounds great.
10.
10 for Tico.
18.
Also
course.
10.
10 for Ma, and for Bodhi. Okay, so in the darkness, now that only Bahodi and Mara can see, you see the little kind of scorpion-tailed monstrosity you faced earlier rub its hands together like it's devising some evil plan, and it slowly starts to make its way towards whoever's in the lead, which I would imagine is Mara. And as it does, you see him split into two. and the two of them come over. And everybody that doesn't have dark vision just hears this maniacal, malicious kind of coming from a chorus almost of two voices. And you can hear the very heavy kind of thunking as two of these tails come flying at Mara. Will a 13 hit you? What is her armor class?
We are.
I think it won't, but just to be safe.
Where do I see that again? I'm sorry.
Top of the character
Oh,
sheet?
armor. Yeah, light armor. Top of the character sheet.
You'll say armor
Right next
class.
to the initiative.
Yeah.
Next to initiative. Armor class 14. Thank you.
Yeah. So two heavy pincers or scorpion tails just come flying at you like thick crossbow bolts, but neither of them finds purchase, and you just hear the thunk as they both kind of hit the wood and then are peeled back into their respective positions. But it is your turn now. So how does Mara want to
Okay.
retaliate?
I'm gonna equip my daggers again.
Okay, so you pull your daggers out.
Yeah, and I'm gonna attack the one. I mean, they're pretty equidistant. I don't.
Yeah.
Just the one.
Yeah, they're both engaged with you.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to go for the one on the right, I guess.
Okay.
With my first dagger.
4.
It's a 24.
That'll hit.
And then 5 damage.
Remember that you do sneak attack as well.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if it counted because
Yeah.
they.
You're by yourself.
Okay, cool. So sneak is down here. 5 plus 7.
12 damage.
Damn.
You murdered him.
Awesome. So I take aim at the other one
Yeah.
with my other dagger.
Yep.
16.
16 will hit. Roll your damage. This does not get sneak attack.
7.
7 is a hefty amount for him, though. Yeah, like he sees you kill one of them, and as he takes the stab, like there's this kind of fear that you've never seen in one of these creatures' eyes before. And then as you pull back your knife and he's still alive, he kind of like just pats his wound. And there's a grimace as he realizes that he's actually like touching his wound and it causes him pain. But he's kind of like thankful. Like you see that there's a thankfulness to him being alive. The other one kind of slumps over and does the same thing. The second that he would have hit the deck, he just kind of evaporates into this black smoke. There's a scent of sulfur. And it just leaves the black mark of where he would have been.
Hit mark.
Yeah.
Oh.
The
No shinies.
No. The other thing, the monster that was chained up, you see it shoot over with almost inhuman speed. Like it moves so much faster than you would have imagined it moving. And you just see it kind of come flying over and tackle Savar.
Whoa, not okay.
Yeah. And you notice that in mid-flight, there was a flash of green flame as it summoned this kind of curved trident. But it tries to stab Savar with the trident. That's going to be a total of 18.
Yeah, that hits.
Yeah, and then he's also going to bite Savar. And that's a total of 15.
Also hits.
Okay. So the trident doesn't do much damage. It only does 4. But his bite also doesn't do much damage. It can be much more dangerous. So 4 damage on the bite. 4 and 4 is 8. And anybody that's near him can hear the crunch of the bite as it does find fleshy meat underneath the scales. But Tika and Bodhi, who wants to go first?
Ladies
Bodhi.
first.
Oh. I am going to. Am I close enough to smack one? Give one just a good spanking.
Yeah, whichever one you want.
Awesome.
You were all at the base of
So
the
I'm-
stairs. There's no light. You don't really see them. You'd be rolling at disadvantage.
I mean, we're in combat now, so
Yeah. You can hear them. You know more or less where they are. It's just trying to triangulate.
Damn it, I can't do both. Oh wait, yes I can. Aha. Okay, so I am going to cast light
Okay.
on my quarterstaff
Okay.
so that it is now glowing and is bright within 10 feet, dim within 20. So hopefully Savar and I can see what's happening.
Oh yeah. The top of the staff, like the 1 foot distance of tip to where this glow rod kind of ends, illuminates, and you see this monstrosity. This thing is massive. It is about Savar's size as far as width is concerned. The musculature is rigid and frightening, and it does look like it is this humanoid porcupine. This kind of has quills all along its body. And the other thing is just the same imp that you saw before, just kind of like small and unassuming.
Can she recognize in any way if this is something that she's like ever seen before in her dealings, like curse wise or not? Like if this is a creature or a polymorphed thing or like what?
Make a history check.
Okay.
Let's see what you've encountered.
I got a 12.
You remember seeing something like this thing, but without the wings, in your wife's journal.
Okay.
Like something, this was encountered at some point in her life, but you don't remember any of the notes attached to it. You just remember seeing the picture and being like, "Oh yeah, this thing. You fought this thing. Must have been harrowing." And then just kind of like sitting with your head in her lap and listening to the story and just kind of like dozing off.
She misses Bree. So so thinking about that, she does remember that it was like a battle that was described, not necessarily what had happened, but she's going to invoke her spiritual weapon, her garden shield, thinking of Bree,
Yeah.
and they appear in front of her. So now she has her lit quarterstaff and kind of this spectral garden shears ready to go.
Yeah. And they do make an attack when they're summoned. So who are you attacking?
Oh, the imp.
Okay. These glowing garden shears just suddenly snip into life and come crashing against this imp's body.
Yes, so I got a 16 to hit.
Yeah. Poor imp. We hardly knew ye.
And it's 6 bludgeoning damage. Oh wait, yes, no, lied. Oh, well, it's 6 damage anyway. It's just not bludgeoning.
Okay. Yeah. It's magical. Yeah, you see the shears kind of come in with a heavy crunch, and the body parts of one side of the imp meet unnaturally the other side of the body parts of the imp as they're brought together, and you see the thing just kind of like collapse in on itself, fall, and as it does, it gets eaten up and leaves that black stain residue where it would have landed, and then the smell of sulfur. And the thing on Savar just kind of roars angrily. Oh, Hody.
Mm-hmm.
What you got for me?
Let's go. Let's try to. Let's give You said the big creature was unchained now, right?
Yes.
Yeah. That's what the imps did. They took it off of him. Let's hit him with a witch's bolt.
Okay, roll your attack.
Hold on a second, be fired up.
There is a moment as you're writing out the rune that you're used to summon Daenerys' presence into the world through you. You notice that it doesn't stay lit in the air like you're used to seeing. Like almost the second you write it out, it kind of vaporizes behind it. You're still drawing the same rune, it's still invoking the same power, but it doesn't have that life that it had before. And even when you finish drawing the rune, you still see the lightning kind of arc out of you and towards the sting, and it does hit hard. Roll damage.
I did hit roll a 20. All right, rolling damage now. That's 2d12.
Oh yeah, and it's lightning. I think one of its.
Oh, it's just 6. It's unfortunate. 6.
6. Boom.
It's not as strong as it used to be.
Yeah. It is still arcing though, so you can keep your concentration on it. But it brings us to Savar.
Savar is not happy that he was bitten.
Yeah.
It was very unsportsmanlike, so he goes into a frenzy rage.
Nice. The stabbing's fine, but just the biting's not uncalled for.
It was unsportsmanlike. And then he's going to reckless attack with the great sword.
Ooh.
Oh heavens. That's better. 16.
16 will hit.
Let's go.
Let's go.
And then that is 9 plus rage damage, which I believe is 2 more, so 11.
Yeah. Okay. You see, you have this hefty cleave that you cut into him with, that you know for a fact would have killed a lesser man. But the thing barely bites into this flesh. Like you cut into him and you kind of see, whereas you expect this kind of heavy valley of damage, there's barely this sliver of like blood, the black bile that kind of comes out of it. It brings us to the top of the round, Mara.
Okay.
The 2 imps are dead.
We got to take out Big Boy.
Yeah. Do we want to get him back in the chains though? Like, was there a reason they were keeping it? Is that possible? Or are we just going for annihilation here? We broke into this room.
Yep, you sure did.
And did this. So I kind of want to put him back and get out of here before I get in trouble.
An overwhelming feeling that the forlorn shanty knew what it was transporting, though.
Yeah. So, but why didn't they just take it out? This is a whole crew.
Because they probably want to use it to their advantage as a weapon.
So we want to take that away from them. I'm down.
Tika's very down to try and talk this out, but I don't think this thing is much of a talker.
We could try to knock it unconscious.
Okay. I like that plan. Do we have any? But can we do that with bludgeon?
Yeah, you can turn any damage before you roll your attack. You can say that you want to do it superficially, so that you're only going for stunning and for knocking out. You don't want to kill.
Okay.
So you're doing non-lethal damage. The only one that can't do that is any spells.
Let me just put this little seed in your minds just before we decide that we're going to switch tactics here. With this guy, all of a sudden, we're 2 of the imps that attacked us on the other boat.
Right.
So they let the thing free, thinking it was going to help them.
Oh yeah, maybe we just lucked out by finding like it could have gotten out anyway.
Hmm.
I guess I felt responsible for opening the door and therefore introducing this opening, but this could be the jump in the initiative that we needed to take care of something before it had a like chance to get us first.
Right.
Okay, let's kill it. All right, I'm down. Go. Oh, sorry.
I'm just saying. Yeah, I think
Oh, I think it's a great point. I like it. I'm down to kill it.
it's on the imp side now, so I don't know.
Good plan. I'm excited about this plan.
All right, perfect. I'm glad we talked it out. I feel a lot less guilty now.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm bringing out the double daggers.
Yep.
My favorite.
Yep. They're
S-
consistent damage.
I love it. So we're gonna roll to hit with the first one,
Correct.
achieving an 18.
That's gonna hit. And again, remember your sneak attack.
Remembering the sneaky sneak. Oh baby, 6 + 9. We're doing 15 with this dagger, baby.
Jesus.
6, 9, nice.
Yeah, you come right where the ribs would be on a normal person and just kind of come upwards, and you hear it just kind of let out this painful, pained roar, and it kind of turns its attention towards you. You see its tail kind of swiping back and forth, and some of the quills start to kind of raise up, like it's getting ready to do something nasty with it. Take your second attack.
Okay. Let me see if I can. Okay, yeah, we'll just go for the attack. Okay, so I'm gonna attack on the second. 16 is my
16 hits.
hit.
Full
Great.
damage, no sneak attack.
No sneaky. Does 4 damage.
4 more damage.
And can I say that as I go to swipe the second one, I lock eyes where its eyes would be if it had a face, and I say, "No bite."
It's you, so it goes before everybody else. It kind of, for lack of a better word, it is the same energy. If you remember Lilo and Stitch, when she tells him to smile, and he has that very gruesome, very kind of frightening smile on his face, that's what it is. And he just mimics your voice. No bite. And he swoops back about 30 feet and unleashes a rain of tail spikes that come flying at you and Savar.
Well, he didn't bite.
He did not bite. 19 is going to hit either one of you. Oh, and another 19.
Oh,
Solidarity.
Yeah. Oh, these do extra damage.
No, thank you.
That's nice. So, for Cat, for Mara, it's going to be 3 regular damage and then 4 more fire damage as these things burst into flames when they ignite against your skin. For Sevar, because it's important to distinguish damage because you're raging.
Yep.
You will take 2 piercing damage, so you really take 1, and you take 5 fire damage. You're not fair total,
I'm not.
so it's
that's
all
full.
5. All 5. Yeah. And this thing just kind of hits you just north of where your heart is, like right where the shoulder plate would begin on your lower back and your upper back, and it just kind of ignites into this burst of flame. The spine itself, once it ignites, just kind of burns itself up, so it just creates the hole where it pierces, and then incendiarily kind of just eats itself up. And at least it cauterizes the wound, so you're not bleeding to death. But Tika and Bahodi, who wants to go first?
I will.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you said it backed up about like 30 feet?
Yeah, 20 feet.
20 feet.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, maybe like no, centered around it. I want to cast spike growth,
Okay.
and yeah, so now surrounding it are these spikes that it can't really see, these thorns and things like that. It becomes difficult terrain for it, and then when it moves in the area, it's going to take 2d4 of piercing damage for every 5 feet.
Ooh.
It's also camouflaged to look natural, so it doesn't know anything's happening.
So the wood of the ship just kind of gnarls up. Interesting.
Yes.
What else do you
So I
want to do?
cast that, and then my just making sure it's still a yes. Okay. And then who am I closer to, Mara or Savar?
Probably closer to Savar. Actually, no, either one of them, because Mara attacked the thing. So
We're together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Actually, I can't cast this yet because I already have concentration up. So I'm just going to run over towards them so that I can ready myself for next round.
Yep. Do you want to move your shears and attack with them?
Oh yeah, shiz, I forgot about the shears. Yes, I would like to move it over towards this
Yeah.
thing. And
For sheer.
Yeah.
it is
How
6'4".
how do you imagine the shears moving? Because for me, there's in my mind they're not like fast. They're kind of like they kind of dip and sway, kind of like somebody's carrying them towards their designated area.
Yeah, I was even thinking like almost like a pruning. It's not like a straight path. It's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
but
And I
they
picture them like
meander their way.
opening and closing every step.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay.
But then it's 6 force damage.
6 force damage. Jesus. The shears come up to it, and how would you like them to finish this thing off?
So, yeah, I go over as if, I'm about to protect dear Mara and Savar and send the shears over.
Mhm.
And it kind of meanders its way over, which looks a little non-threatening. Like you said, it's kind of
Yeah.
like it's just meandering through. And as it approaches, it actually closes instead of opens and just pierces through the thing's stomach. Or where a stomach might be.
Yeah, yeah. And you see as the creature is expecting to kind of put its hands up in expectation of putting himself to defend against a closing attack. The pincer, the shears closing and then drilling into him, kind of stabbing like Mara would, or has in the past. It is not expecting it. The eyes kind of widen as the thing pierces its skin, and it just collapses down onto its knees. It says something in a language that none of you recognize, and then it vomits up this shard, this chunk of a ruby.
Dims. Dim.
Oh my gosh. Somebody clip it. Let's get the replay.
Yeah, and it just leaves this very massive, kind of splayed out dark spot in the wood. And again, there's just the scent of sulfur.
Okay, so as everything dissipates, she kind of waves her hand to get rid of the spike growth so that nobody that is about to charge over there for that ruby gets hurt.
Yeah.
And then I would like, if at all possible, can I cast, if we're out of initiative, Prayer of Healing so that I can heal everybody up to 6 creatures of my choice that I can see?
Sure.
Sweet. Oh, everybody gets 11 healing damage.
Woo!
Or
So
not damage.
Ooh.
yeah, healing heals.
Healing.
Uh,
Healing heals.
yeah. So Tika immediately starts to chant or kind of hum whatever song or rhythm or kind of ritual is attached to the prayer of healing, because it is a 10-minute spell. And as everybody's
I got
kind
a
of
song.
as everybody's
About 10
arguing,
minutes.
as Mara and Bahodi are arguing about who gets the chunk of ruby, the song finishes. There's this kind of sensation of healing that comes over everyone. And again, anybody that's been healed by Tika before has had a sensation of what it felt like. This is different. There's something that isn't normal about it, even though your wounds are knitting closed. The energy is still kind of fluctuating, but the colors are different. The effects are different. It's almost like the paradigm has shifted here.
Is it almost comparable that it's like, not that I'm all gardeny, but like it's like crisp, or is it like is it unnerving?
It's
Like, is it autumnal versus spring, or is it like
yeah, it's
kind of
it's very
unsettling?
it's very much a change of season, but it's
Okay.
also kind of the whole, you are thinking about everything that's kind of gathered, all the evidence that you've kind of pulled together. Like even the shears don't have the very crisp, kind of clean, brand new shear look. Like they have rust on them. This kind of looks like it's been weathered. It's seen some time out in the wilderness. Um, it kind of feels like you're being rerouted from wherever you would pull your divine magic from to whatever the equivalent is on this side of the map of the wall.
Mm. Okay. Some darkest timeline stuff, you know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But holding the ruby in your hand, Mara, it is hefty. It is easily, excuse me, about 8 pounds. You value it somewhere around 500 gold pieces at least.
8 pounds.
That's a big baby.
It is a big baby.
Dense.
And even as you kind of hold it and you're giving yourself kind of like, what would this weigh? How much would I be able to fence this for? Things like that. The chunk looks what you would imagine this creature's heart must have been like.
Mm.
And
Wow.
as the heat of it fades, you see the pulse kind of fading as well.
Mara, what happens if you shake that one?
Let me see.
Magic 8 ball.
Maro, could you roll a wisdom saving throw for me, please?
Sure. Seven.
Okay. So you shake the thing up following Tika's advice, and why wouldn't you? She has never set you wrong. And the moment you shake this thing, your mind is assaulted with the screams of everything that this creature has ever killed in its lifetime. And it has lived a long lifetime. You take
Does she like collapse?
Yeah, and she takes 12 points of psychic damage.
Oh my god.
That'll teach me.
But everybody else does see the same symbol as she kind of like collapses and drops the thing, so that there's no physical connection to it. But it is that kind of curved trident that's broken up into pieces with the rose vines wrapped around all of them, kind of keeping them in their shape. The thorns are prominently displayed, and there's the 3 blooms in a diagonal line from top left to bottom right.
The Devil House.
I run over to Mara and put her head in my lap as she's collapsed and cast Cure Wounds on her because I'd feel awful. It's only 5, but
Yeah, you took 12. I've healed 5 though.
That's good.
Yeah,
I can have those
maybe
points.
more of a headache than a migraine now. I don't.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
But you heard so many people screaming, and it's not
Oof.
just it wasn't just like men and women, like there were children, there were creatures like that you've never encountered before. You could see visions of like these little crocodilian creatures, of goblins. You saw images of different scenes, like a desert, a mountain range, a tower, and one of the last visions you see is this creature setting a set of barrels of flame, and as it crawled out of the ship's window, the last thing that you see is the name of the inky Kraken.
No! That's my people! Don't let me kill this! Oh my god! That's my crew.
Yeah. And now the threads of what has brought Basten and your crew together are starting to intertwine. And I think this is a good point to call it a day.
Oh my god.
So, as always, I'd like to thank all of you for participating. I hope you guys are having a good time.
I'm fine.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you for having us.
Yeah. So let's go around the table again. Let the people know where they can find you, and I'll go into my channel outro. We'll start with Red this time, as you're swallowing. She's still digesting the
I'm
course.
I'm obsessed. Okay. My name is Red Herring, and this was awesome. If you want to come hang out with me, I have all the things like Instagram, TikTok, YouTube's. Come say what's up. And I'll be streaming later tonight some boyfriend dungeon. So come say hi.
Ooh. All right. Red, are you Kat, are you sane enough?
I'm back here.
Okay.
Oh my god. Yes. I'm Laser Cat. I stream Monday through Friday with the exception of Wednesdays on the Eastern time, usually early afternoons. And we play all sorts of games. I do all sorts of singing. And now we do Beat Saber for entirely too long to the point where I can't walk. So if you guys like fun and wholesomeness, then check me out, Laser Cat TV on Twitch and all other socials.
Gloop, where can the people find you?
Gloop Dog on Twitch tomorrow at noon Pacific with episode 15 of Karaoke Foreplay.
Yeah.
Woo.
How long are you going before you start
14.
How long are you going before you start your whole like tournament of champions?
There's only 3 more episodes. There's 14, 15, and 16. So it'll be Sunday, Tuesday, Sunday.
Okay.
And then we'll go into the tournament of champions through the first couple weeks in September.
Oh, awesome. And then Pedro, you are not streaming yet, but we will work on that, as I've said in the beginning. Where can the people find you if they want to get more of you, or if they want to invite you into any of their streams?
I'll be here in Pirates of the Valdstrum, the one shot that continues, and social media. I think it's mostly like my Pure Kia or my name, Pedro Jose Urquia. That's me.
Okay. Yeah. Again, I'm so excited that this is not just a one shot, and I'm hoping that I can continue to talk you into letting me run these one shots that are just tied together.
I think Kat will forbid you from not doing at least the next one.
This is my life's purpose: is revenge for my fallen crew. Oh my god!
Oh, yeah.
I wasn't expecting it so soon. Sorry.
Oh, it happens. It happens. It's our third episode. Somebody's background must have happened. But yeah, I am Ravnos Archon. I do only tabletop RPGs here on my channel. I have a Vampire the Masquerade dual storyline that happens on Monday nights, set in 1984 or Salem, Oregon. I have a Star Wars old West End game that happens on Fridays that is set during the fall of the Jedi, which is the last days of the Old Republic. I will usually have been invited to run games on McStabber Studios. I ran a mage game. I was participating in their werewolf game, which happens on Tuesdays and is wrapping up its first season. And I will be bringing back my Legend of the Five Rings game probably on Tuesdays once this werewolf game is over and my commitment ends. But if you want to see some more not as popular as Dungeons and Dragons games, that's definitely the niche that I'm trying to fill. As always, please guys, continue to keep your distance and wash your hands and wear your masks in public. If you haven't gotten vaccinated, please get vaccinated. If you're watching live on Twitch, I always end with numbers that you can call if you need help with mental health, because it shouldn't be stigmatized or taboo. A taboo subject. I think we've all seen a kind of little bit of the darkness that's out there, and some of us more than others. I know that I've lost some friends over the year. I've dealt with my own demons, no pun intended, from the subject of the game that we had today. And if you're not in the United States, I'm also putting a link to be able to find resources anywhere in your side of the world. So again, thank you, Lasercat. Thank you, Red. Thank you, Gloop. Thank you, Pedro.
Thanks, Rav.
Thank you, Rav. Yeah.
And I will see you in the next time where we see where this crew starts to uncover some secrets. So here's the outro. Take care,
Have a
everybody.
great weekend.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.